I'm just recording a quick follow-up to the TV detector van video here. Now the comment has been made a number of times that I didn't do any antenna leakage testing in that video. So I went to the trouble of setting up the listening station outside again and hooking both of these receivers up to an indoor antenna, and I found that I couldn't receive anything whatsoever. So we're actually now back inside again to try and find out what's going on here. So let's just try and recreate the original test. So we were just trying to find that local oscillator on the Showman receiver. So there it is, loud and clear. So what we're going to do now is actually just plug the spectrum analyzer straight into the antenna socket and see if we can actually get anything out of it. Yeah, so you can kind of see it there. Let's just change the resolution bandwidth. You can just see it, but it's significantly quieter than it was when I was on there with the contact probe. So that would explain why I can't detect it outside. It actually leaks less out of its antenna connection than it does out of the just into the air, which I wasn't expecting. But having thought about it, this piece of equipment originally was attached to an antenna on the roof of a BBC studio, and they would have been pretty cross with the manufacturer if this was blasting out a whole lot of emissions. But then that having been said again, this is just a standard consumer Philips tuner in here, so maybe by the time this was designed in the 90s, this problem had been resolved. So let's try out the Sony and see if it's any better. So next up we'll try out the Sony, and let's just see if we can find that tone with our contact probe. There it is, loud and clear. So let's disconnect the probe and hook up our little bodged adapter here. Plug it into the antenna socket. Yeah, so it's there, but it's 10 dB down from what I was able to get directly off the set. So that would explain why I couldn't detect it outside, because it emits less from the antenna socket than it does into the air. So there you have it. For these two particular pieces of equipment, leakage is virtually nothing from the antenna socket. So my skepticism about detectability from vans is as vindicated as it ever was. Now, of course, there is the possibility of older equipment from the 70s and what have you. I don't have any of that here, but I'm sure that the problem was significantly worse for that more vintage equipment. But anyway, thanks for your comments, guys, and see you next time.